Are you having a hard time choosing the right course platform for your online course? In this video, we're going to review Thinkific, one of my favorite course platforms out there. So let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back and hello. If you're new here, my name is Janelle and I help small business owners create online courses that get results. Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit different from ones you've watched in the past. We are going to take an in-depth look at Thinkific. We're going to look at its features and capabilities to help you decide if it is a good fit for your course. Let's jump in. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in to Thinkific. So I am on Thinkific's website, thinkific.com. If you're not familiar with Thinkific, you can go there and check them out. But what I want to do is really quickly before we get started, give you an overview of the different options. So we're going to evaluate a few things today. We're going to start with just an overview of the pricing and what you get for that. And then we're going to get into the course development aspect of the platform. So let's start here. I'm on Thinkific's pricing page. Thinkific, if you're not familiar, again, they've been around for a pretty long time. They've been around since 2012, and they were founded by Greg Smith, who has actually been a guest on the podcast. So if you just go to the Level Up Your Course podcast and search for Greg Smith, you'll be able to listen to my chat with him. So when we look at this pricing page, there are several tiers. If you just want to test out, you just want to kick the tires, there is definitely a free option available, so you can get started for free. Looks like with that, you can create 3 courses, unlimited students, quizzes and surveys. You can upload your content and you get instant access to your funds. So when we look at the paid plans, we've got 3 options, and there's a little asterisk there, which we'll get to in a moment. But we've got the basic plan at $49 a month, and this is the monthly. If you pay annually, you save 20%. So monthly, we've got the basic at $49 a month, Pro at $99, and then Premier at $4.99. So if we look at the differences between these, the way that this chart reads is it adds on. So at each incremental level, you get new things plus what was listed on the level before. At a really high level, the important things for you to know are you get unlimited courses and students. You have the ability to use coupons. You can email your students from within the platform. You can drip out your content. If you choose to work with affiliates, you can have reporting that helps you to see how that is going. You can create a custom domain, which is important for your branding purposes. You have certain email integrations. It looks like Aweber, ConvertKit, Constant Contact, and MailChimp with this basic plan. And you also have Zapier triggers, so you can send information to Thinkific using Zapier. And then it looks like you can also manually enroll students. So that's what you get with basic, which is a great feature set to start out. Now, if you move up to Pro, you're going to get all of that. Plus, you can have additional admin accounts, right? So if you want to invite other teachers, if you want to collaborate with other teachers, you can do that on the Pro account. You can also have private and hidden courses. So sometimes you might create a course that is just for a certain segment of your audience, and you can hide that course or just make it private if you don't want everyone to see it on your course page. So that's an option at the Pro level. You also get advanced pricing options. And this, in my opinion, is one of the things that makes Pro very attractive, because if you want to have subscriptions, if you want to have payment plans, if you want to have different pricing, let's say you want to do something that's a certain price point for your beta testers, you can do that at the Pro level. You're not able to do that at the basic level. You can also create memberships, and you can bundle courses together. So you want to package courses together for a certain price versus just the course. You can do that at the Pro level. Certificates are a thing for a lot of people. And so if you want certificates, again, that's at the Pro level. And then outside of that, there's a couple cool features. Assignments. Communities is a feature that I haven't played around much with, but you can create a community and have your students interact within Thinkific instead of, say, a Facebook group. Advanced options, this is really just about editing your code. So that's a high level. I'm not going to get into the Premier. That's more enterprise. If you want to have single sign-on and you have a lot of teachers, if you're running, an enterprise level school, then you would look at Premier. So that's a high level. If you want to learn more, you can come back to their pricing page. It's just thinkific.com pricing. Click on see the full feature comparison, and you can really get into the details here. While we are here, I want to point out that one of the things that makes Thinkific different from a lot of course platforms out there is the ability to use e-learning platforms like Storyline, Captivate, and there's other ones as well, but you can embed those into your course with Thinkific. So I'm going to get out of here. I actually have, set up a just kind of test account within Thinkific. So we're just going to walk through a few of the features. I want to start with the course development aspect. But before we get there, there's a nice, when you log into your new account, there's a nice onboarding setup, right? So, you've already created your account. And then if you aren't familiar with Thinkific, you can just see what you can do with it. I've used Thinkific. I use it for my current courses, so we're going to skip that part. You can customize the course player, so you can customize the colors and all of that good stuff. So I could come here, click on this, and let's say I like this minty green color. And then I could just put, test course. And if I wanted to have my logo, I could do that. And then just hit save and continue. So that's done. And it's cool that you can do that right from within this onboarding area instead of it telling you to go somewhere else. If I want to preview this, you can see what it looks like for your students, right? So you could see, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. I like the cleanliness of this course player, but we're going to come back to that. So we'll mark this complete. Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe you have to actually watch the video lesson, which is something that I like about Thinkific. And then it just walks you through all of these other aspects, which we're going to get into in a moment. Building your course, customizing your site, and then publishing your course. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and explore how easy it is to create a course in Thinkific. There's other areas that we're going to go through. I'm going to try to keep this pretty quick so that it doesn't become an hour-long tutorial. We're going to start with manage learning content in the left-hand navigation. This is where you would go in to create your course content. So if you click on that, you can see some subcategories pop down. Courses, which is where we're going to go. Categories, which I'm not sure what that is. It looks like you can create categories for your courses. So if you had, specific collections, instructors, your video library, and then sharing revenue, which I'm not sure what that is either. So we're going to stick with courses here. I've already got a course set up, a test course with the course card from my group program. And you can see that I already have some content in here. So with Thinkific, they call modules chapters, but you can change that name pretty easily. So if you wanted to come in here and add a chapter, you just click add a chapter here down at the bottom. And this is where you can call it what you want, right? So we're going to call it module 3, hit save, and we just created a new module in our course. So I've got some content already set up, which we'll preview just to see what that looks like. I'm in dark mode now, so you can kind of see what things look like with the dark background. You can change this to be the light background, which I'll show you how to do in a second. But this is what it would look like for a video lesson. There's also other lesson types. We'll get into that in a second, but I just wanted you to get a quick preview of what things look like from the student perspective. So I'm going back to module 3, and we're going to click add a lesson, this button right here. It just makes it super easy to add your lesson. You can also copy a lesson. So I could copy a lesson from this course or from a different course, which is a fantastic feature. If you go into here, you can see all of the different possibilities for your lesson content: video, text, PDF, audio only, multimedia, so you can embed maybe a quiz from Typeform, for example. You can also have assessments. So you can have a quiz. You can have with a quiz native to Thinkific. You can create assignments where students have to submit and you mark that submission accepted or not, surveys and exams. So tons of possibilities. If we go in here, let's see if I can get this to work. And hit save. All right, so a little green icon pops up that tells me that this has been saved. So that is really all it takes to create a lesson. Like I said, you can copy a lesson. So I can click here, I can copy from this course, or if I had other courses, you would see that down below. And then I just choose the lesson that I want, right? So I'm gonna copy this text lesson and it just copies automatically. So if we preview here, now that we've created that content, then you can come in here and you're going to see the video that we looked at before. You're going to see an example of a text lesson. Students would click complete and continue here at the bottom. I've enabled a discussion for this lesson. So if you click this discussion question or this discussion icon, it's a little bit small, but up in the upper right of your screen, there's a discussion icon. If you click that, and you can see that I've already set up a test discussion. So this is from the instructor. Students will see that that's from the instructor and they can write a reply. So if we hit complete and continue, then it's going to take me automatically, advance me to the next lesson. There's no discussion here. It's enabled, but there's nothing that's been set. So there's a 0. And then when I complete, it tells me, hey, I completed this module, which is, good for motivating your students. Then we hit next. And this is where I embedded the quiz from Typeform. So you can see how beautiful this is for your students. You can just embed. So if you don't like the way that quizzes are set up within Thinkific natively, you can use something like Google Forms or Typeform and have your quizzes here. So I'm going to put, yes, I did. I can, have some questions here. And this is an actual quiz from one of my courses. So I'm just going to hit complete and continue, and then it's going to auto advance. And you can see that the percentage, there's a process indicator here telling me I've completed 60% of this course. So that's what building a course looks like at a really high level within Thinkific. You have your content options, you can set discussions, you can enable discussions for your lesson or for the entire course. You can make content previewable. And then you have additional settings. You can do bulk imports of content if you're moving from one platform to another. You have different settings for, your course card and description, what your course player looks like. Some of these you have to be on specific plans to see. So for example, the course player, if you want to have different colors for different courses, you need to be on the Pro plan. And then here you can set specific learning features, which we're going to come back to in a second. You can also drip out content. Now I'm just testing out a free version, but if I were on a paid plan in here, I would be able to set specific content to release at different days. And it gives you a little preview of how you can do that. Pricing options, you can come in here and set your pricing. You can do one-time payment, you can do subscriptions, you can do monthly payment plans. You do need to be on the Pro to do that. And you do need to set up an integration with Stripe or PayPal as your payment processor in order to have a paid course, which makes total sense, right? So there are tons of options. And then if you want to publish your course, you would just come here, you can publish it right away. You can leave it in draft mode if you're still working. If you're pre-selling, you can definitely do that. I like down here, it tells me that I have a lesson that's set to draft and it won't be displayed when published. So that just helps you if you've accidentally left something in draft mode, you can go back and, make that change. So that is the course development side of things. Now, I want to talk about the learning features next. So as a course creator, one of the things that I love about Thinkific is they take learning seriously. They are the only platform that devotes a lot of intention and attention to learning analytics and features. So we already talked about discussions, right? So if you want to engage with your students and give them an opportunity to ask questions, you can do that at a lesson level. So you can have discussions. And as an instructor, you can pop out and see all of your discussions easily just by going to support your students, click on discussions, and you'll see your discussion here. So this is the one that we looked at a minute ago. So that way you don't have to go into each course, each lesson. You can just see it very easily and support your students that way. You can also see where your students are in the course. So under this same support your students section, I can get a progress report of all of my students and see exactly where they are. If I have assignments, I can click on assignments here, pop in here, see what assignments have been submitted. You can mark them as completed or approved. I forget what the exact language is. This is a pro feature. So if you click on learn more, it kind of just walks you through what this actually looks like. So you create an assignment, students have a drop box where they can drop their assignment, and then you get a notification. So we're gonna hop back. Quizzes and surveys, if I wanted to pop in here and see how students are doing on my quizzes, I can do all of that. I can come in here and see all of my quizzes. Now, this is only for your Thinkific native quizzes. So if I'm using something like Typeform to create quizzes, then I wouldn't see that here. And then that's pretty much it. If I want to create a certification program, I would pop into certificates here and I can go create a new certificate. This is now native to Thinkific. You used to have to use an integration. So I can pop in here and go test certificate and choose the design. Let's see. Oh, this one looks pretty cool, right? So that one's cool. This one's cool. So we've got some, some pretty cool options, and this is only going to be issued after the course has been completed. So you choose the template, you can come in here and change what it says content wise, and then you can change the colors and all of that good stuff. So that's going to be our certificate. We hit save, and now once students complete the course, they're going to get that certificate emailed to them, I assume. So those are some really great learning features for you as an instructor to see what's going on with your students. Now, Thinkific does something else that I love, which is under the reporting section. So if I get out of support your students, I'm going to navigate over to advanced reporting. In my opinion, student engagement should be under support your students, but hey, it is a reporting feature. So if I come in here, one of the things I love about Thinkific is I can see at a student level what my learners are doing, right? So I can come in here and see where they're at. Now, to get the advanced data, you're going to need to be on the pro plan. So on the basic plan, I can come in here and see, okay, this is what my students have completed, right? These are the stats. So did they, how are they engaging with the multimedia, the PDF, so different types of lessons that I have. I can see how many lessons are completed video-wise and versus viewed. I can also see, this allows me to see where students might be getting stuck. I can see how they did on quizzes overall. And then if there's any reviews, I can see what those are saying to me as well. You can look at this site-wide, or you can really drill down to just a single course. You can also come in here and see, different time periods, right? So I can come in here and just see, okay, I want to see what I did for the quarter. So I could do that. In fact, this is already set for the quarter. I could set it for a month. Navigation is a little tricky because you can set it here or you can set it here. It's a little confusing. Why is it in two places? But what I love is that you get this sample data. Even just as a test user, you can see how things would work. So you can really drill down and get a sense of how students are engaging with your course. A lot of course creators have no idea what their completion rates are, what students are doing in their course, and Thinkific makes it super easy to see that information and get that data so that you can take action to improve the learning experience. So On a student level, you could dig even deeper. You could go in and click on your student. Let's see if I can get to it. You can see, I'm looking for it. So I was in the wrong section. So back under advanced reporting, if you go to enrollments, you can even look and see how students are enrolling in your course, and just see, okay, where are my numbers as far as my enrollments. You can look at your numbers from revenue and orders, but you can also click on details. There's a details tab. So you have your high level insights, right? And then you have your details tab. And this is where you can come in to see, where are your students? What are they completing? So if a student is reaching out saying, I'm stuck, you could hop in here and see, okay, what did they do last? Did they actually do the material? Are they stuck because they have only done 1% of the course? Or have they really been working and they're struggling because there's something in the content that's not clear? So that's one of my favorite features with Thinkific. So those are the learning analytics. Like I said, you can see how students are engaging, where they are in your course, how much they've completed, what was the last thing they completed, and really dive deep. Now, again, I want to reiterate, you do need to be on the pro plan to get the advanced data. So that student level data of where they're at in the course, what they completed last, is for the pro plan only, pro plan and up. Sales analytics is under reporting as well. So you can come in here and see the orders that you've had. You can see at a high level the insights, same thing. You can also see the details of who ordered, what they paid, what course they bought, all of that good stuff. Was it an affiliate order? You can see all of that. You can also see your revenue as well. So we're going to move on. We're going to get out of reporting. So far, we've covered course development and we've covered reporting, and we've looked at analytics for learning as well as analytics for sales. This is just the revenue insight data. I just wanted to show you really quickly. So now let's go back to the course and segue into the marketing and sales part, right? So there's two ways you can get to marketing and sales stuff. So if we're looking at marketing, you might be thinking about, I want to create a landing page for my course. So I'm going to show you how to do that. From a sales perspective, it's really about certain things like, can you use coupons? Yes, you absolutely can. You can embed widgets on your website. If you want people to buy directly from your site, you can come under Market and Sell and set up a widget for your site. You can just go here, choose the product image, or if you just want a button, generate the code, and bam, you've got a sales widget. You can come in here and set up your integrations. So if I click on integrations here, I can set up my payment processor. If I'm using Stripe, PayPal, Shopify, all of that good stuff. Set up affiliates down here if you want to work with affiliates. But we're going to go back to our course and look at the landing page option next. So I'm going to click on my test course here. And I am going to, in this upper right-hand corner, we've got a button that says Build Landing Page. So I'm going to click on that. Loading. All right, so some cool things here, right? We've got, this is the landing page. There's a theme. You've got different themes you can choose from. I'm not going to get into all of that, but you do have different themes. So if you don't like the design here, you can choose a different theme. You can come in here and set your theme settings, so you can set your style. So let's click on a different one, right? So we're going to hit save. So each theme has about 3 or 4 styles within that theme. So I just clicked on a different one. I hit save. It doesn't look like anything happened. So maybe that's a little bug. Let's try this again. Nope, too much pink. So anyway, you get a sense of what, oh, it didn't change because that's what I was on. So I was already on the Halo one. So we're gonna keep Halo. So that is fine. I could come here, change the colors. I could change the typography. I could add my favicon. So that is the styling for your theme. To add the structure for your sales page, you're going to be under pages. So this is the landing page for Janelle's test course. And you have some basic structural things that are already in there by default. The header, the banner, the curriculum, which auto-populates with your curriculum as you develop it in your course. And then you can add additional sections, right? So I've already added a bonus material section, but I could click on this add section button and add even more. So let's say, this is new. So we're going to add a couple of sections. We're going to add frequently asked questions because that's always a good one to have. And we are going to add a countdown timer because that is a new option here. And you can drag these so you can move them, right? Let's say I want to have my FAQs down at the bottom. Let's say I want to move my countdown timer up higher to create some urgency. I can do all of that. So I could come here and I could basically have my curriculum. Let's say I want to have just a section to have some copy, right? So can I do that? Let's see what we have. I want to have an instructor section, definitely. Social proof. So there's just a bunch of sections that you can have. I'm just looking for text, so I'm just going to type in text, and it looks like I can. So we're going to go icons and text, and we're going to move that up. We'll do the countdown timer, icons and text, the curriculum, bonus material, instructor, and then FAQs. All right, so that's good enough. So we're going to save that. And now we can just kind of peruse this structure here, right? So we've got, and then we can click on each of these sections and I could edit. So I could say FAQ 1. And bam, that's done. I hit save. So really easy to work with this, and the structure is great out of the box. Of course, you would want to have your own images, so on and so forth. But this is very easy to work with, and it looks clean. Thinkific has put a lot of energy into updating their landing pages. They've come a long way in this regard. So this is just a high-level overview of things that you can do with the landing page section here, and you can change pretty much anything. All right, so that is the landing page. I do really, before we get out of here, I do want to come here and check out this countdown timer, because that, just to see how this works. So it looks like you have, so you might be using something like Deadline Funnel or just any other countdown timer solution. It looks like this timer can go to, so you can have a call to action. I would love to not have a call to action, or make this call to action go to a section. So you could probably add a custom URL for the section. So you could hop down, when people click this, it hops to a section. I don't see a way to disable that call to action, which is not ideal. I could be missing something. The countdown timer here, so we could say, don't miss out. Delete that subheading, right? So then we could come here. So it looks like you can only set, so this is a expiration at a specific static date, right? So it's not an evergreen timer, which is what I wanted to check. So we could say, and this is this is pretty late, but we could say, as of this recording, it's April. So we're going to say this is going to expire April 11th at 6 p.m. We're going to save, and then that's 2021. All right, so now we say it expires in 4 days. So that's the countdown timer. You could change the section name. The only thing I don't like about this is that the call to action button, you can't delete it. And so if I wanted, I guess you could link directly to checkout, but I like to link down to a different section. So I like to link to my CTA that's later on down in the page, or just delete this altogether. So thanks for hanging out with me while I explored that. This is the landing page option. You can kind of preview it on mobile and see how it would look. And then you can also go desktop. All right, so let's close out of here. We've talked about now, so that's landing pages. We've talked about sales features or not. We've talked about sales features. The only thing left to talk about is supporting your students. So you can do all of the other things we talked about. So you can do discussions. You can see how your students are doing as far as in the course, but you might also want to engage with your students over email or set up a community, and you can do that as well. So let's say you want to set up a community so your audience can be a part of the community, whether or not they're in a specific course. You can do that. You do need to be on a paid plan, but you can absolutely come here and create a community. If you click on the Learn More icon, you can just see what it looks like. Here's a screenshot. And it's just very similar to, say, a Facebook group where people can come and leave threaded comments, upload images, create a post, all of that great stuff. So you've got communities. You can create groups. So if you run cohorts, you can do that. And so that way you can see how everyone in that group moves through your course, and you can see their progress as a group. You can come in here and email your students by clicking on users. So this is only if you're on a paid plan, but you can come in and either email your students individually. So if I click on myself, and I can email myself. All right. Last thing, what do you do if you need help? Well, you're going to do a couple of things. There's a couple of places that you can go. If you're new to Thinkific and you just need training, down in the lower left-hand side, you just click on My Training. And you can go to their training center and just get access to their fast track course. But let's say you need help. You have a question. You can either go to the help center, which is right underneath of the training center link. Come here, search for what you want. So let's say I want to look up payment plans. And I can come here and do that. This isn't quite what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna click there, and it took me to coupons. So that's not ideal. I really wanted to learn about payment plans. Okay, so now I'm here, create a payment plan. That's what I wanted to do. So it's a little bit buggy there, but create a payment plan. I can read that article, and hopefully that answers my question. If it doesn't answer your question, then in the lower right-hand side, there's a little help ribbon. And if you click that, it's going to open up a window on the side here. And that window is also going to give you the ability to search for a particular topic. And if you can't find what you're looking for, then the next step is going to be reaching out to support. So it's taking a little while to load. We're going to click it one more time. There we go. And so let's say I want to search coupons. So I'm going to click search. It's going to pull up all of the help articles that you would find in the help center. So I'm going to, instead of searching, I'm just going to go to contact us up here. And I'm going to hit, I have a question about a feature. If I could type, create coupons. And then when I come in here, it's a little bit different. At the end of this article, you're going to see something that says, did you find the answer to your question? I'm going to say no. And it is going to pull up an option for me to get in touch. So it says, please get in touch with us. And this opens up. So I can submit a request and they'll get back to me via email. hopefully that gives you a good overview and insight into Thinkific. Hopefully that helps you to see what you can do with Thinkific, how powerful Thinkific is. Like I said, they've been around since 2012. They have more advanced features than any of the online course platforms out there, in my opinion, as far as the holistic features. They are the only platform that puts a lot of energy into learning analytics, which is one of the reasons why I love them. And for some people, Thinkific's aesthetic may not be exactly where you want, but you can customize things. So you can edit your code, your CSS or HTML, and get it to look the way that you want it to. So there's a lot of powerful capabilities with Thinkific. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If there's anything that I've missed out, pop your question below in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.